in time. Trust me, in time. Definitely on the plans for 2026, 2027. Well, to be quite honest, when I was playing high school basketball, it wasn't really training at all. It was more like push-ups, sit-ups, wall sits, stuff like that. I used to do a lot of plyometrics, lots of conditioning work, just running outside and obviously in the gym. Had one of those high school coaches that just demanded you to run all the time. So weightlifting just wasn't, something that we did. When I got into college, we were doing like bench, overhead shoulder press, power cleans, hang cleans, Russian deadlift, pull-ups, but nothing like isolating movements, nothing like that. It was more like, those freaking hang cleans, man. Oh, and overhead squats and freaking lunges. That was insane. And front squats. Yes. Really no machines at all. Not even leg press. Sounds like you need to go see a physio of some sort. You also need to ask yourself, what were you doing to create those injuries? Now, was it just crazy lifting? Was it a fall or something like that? But when you talk about elbow tendonitis and slight shoulder pain, I definitely believe you need to go see a doctor. And if you really feel like it's like truly painful, you probably need to get an MRI on your shoulder. It could be just a soft tissue injury. You might have some adhesions and whatnot. So, seeing a chiropractor maybe, getting some x-rays done. When it talks about elbow tendonitis, I definitely think even looking into acupuncture is a good idea as well. So you're going to be, in my opinion, having to invest a lot of your time and effort and even money toward the recovery side more than anything else. And if you do that, I think you'll find those answers. I truly think as long as you're able to recover, I think that's the ticket right there. I don't know what your intensity really is. I would have to see it to understand. And I'd also have to know, like, how are you actually eating and supplementing and all that stuff. But overall, I think like if you're having some type of nagging injury, you need to get some soft tissue work done and all that. Focusing on recovery is going to be more important than the intensity that you bring to the gym. Because if you don't know how to recover, you can't have that confidence sometimes, right? You're just going to go into the gym and wreck everything. So when it talks about intensity, you got to know when to go hard and when to pull back. That's something that only instinctively you would know, unless if someone like me was there watching. But be good to yourself, stay strong, but most importantly, have a lot of fun out there. I would definitely say what I know that I've really engaged the fibers that I'm trying to get done. Like for today, for instance, I was doing, some back, and normally I do like a lot more volume, but today I was like, okay, I just want to make sure that I maintain proper form and technique. And if I can get a pump from that, I'm going to move on. So instead of doing like 4 to 5 working sets, I just did 3. And I lowered my resting period that was enabling me to have more intensity. And I did, a few sets of arms, and normally I'd do like 12 to 16 sets of that. I only did like 5 because I was just being instinctively, present with my muscles. And it's just like, okay, I got a really good pump. Was it challenging? Was it heavy enough to really stimulate it? And I thought, okay, I can then come back maybe Sunday or Monday and hit arms again if I want to do back. So you're just going to have to know what's that breaking point to where you start to end up straining yourself and actually hurting yourself. Oh, I would have loved to. I played 1 year of high school football, but I really wish I would have done it as a kid. I think I would have been really, really good at it. Also boxing. I think if I would have, got into that as well, I think I would have been really good because I got good footwork and my hand-eye coordination is, I would say, is pretty damn good. Other than that, I basically tried everything. I like baseball too. So maybe those 3. So that does it. I just want to say thank you all for submitting your questions. I know I didn't get to all of them. There was a lot. It was a lot more than I had expected, but I'm very much in gratitude for each and every one of you that chimed in, and we'll continue to do it. Look forward to Wednesdays being the day that I'm going to ask you to ask me anything, and then I'll get back to it usually within 24 hours. But until then, hopefully you guys are having a beautiful day wherever you are, or a beautiful night, and continue to love yourself, continue to love the things that you do, continue to have gratitude for everything that comes your way, and make sure that you give your best, because your best is always freaking good enough. I like face pulls using the rope on the cable machine. You can do it with dumbbells or the reverse pec deck as well, but I think those 3 are definitely some great exercises for rear delts. I'm glad that you mentioned that, because a lot of people don't like to train them that much because they can't see them, but they do make a world of difference, especially for those people who compete. I would study all the people who competed at a very high level, and that really isn't the current guys. I would definitely understand that what once worked back in the day still is replicated today. So that goes from Arnold's day, Lee Haney's day, Dorian, Coleman, all the Olympia champions. You really need to understand that, but most importantly, not be so consumed with, just clicks and stuff like social media stuff. You should really be understanding the basics, the fundamentals. If you don't own an encyclopedia of bodybuilding by Arnold Schwarzenegger, you need to get that. And you really need to learn from people who have actually done it at the highest level. It would be like if I was trying to learn how to invest my money into something. I'm not going to go to just a local guy at the bank or just go through someone on YouTube. I want to see someone that has done it at the very highest level and find out how they were able to maximize that. I figured that I handled it more productively than people maybe give me credit for. I maintained a level of composure when I trained and when I competed at the highest level, and I won. So how did I handle it? Maybe on social media, like if someone says something ignorant and I want to fire back, I would do it. But I didn't really allow it to penetrate to me to where I would have it ruin my day or literally try to ruin that person's day. If anything, they said, "Oh, you suck," and this and that, I'd be like, well, it's not going to suck when I win. It's going to feel really, really freaking good, and you're going to be mad. So I just took it in kind, and I looked at it like if I was playing basketball with you. If you talk trash, all I got to do is provide result, and that's the biggest key to that. Essentially, just training smart. You can't go in there with recklessness that you may have done when you were younger. Giving yourself, proper sleep. That is huge, whether you be younger or older. Without doing that, you're going to be in a world of hurt. And also making sure that you're eating right, stay on top of all your vitamins, and then, and making sure that you can recover through understanding your own blood work. You should be getting a physical every year. You should be getting blood work 3, if not 4 times a year, whether you're enhanced or not. And making sure that you're just enjoying everything, but also being mindful of those nagging little injuries that you may have and knowing how to recover. There's plenty of tools on YouTube. And then if you can go to a physio that actually is reputable, I definitely recommend doing that as well. I've actually been to Russia multiple times. I think I want to say 4 times I've been there. I trained with some of the best bodybuilders out there, been around them. I think the best is yet to come, the guys that are out there. I would really like to see another one emerge and compete at the compete at the Olympia. And I was treated really well when I went to Russia. I was in Moscow. I haven't been to St. Petersburg, but yeah, I stayed in the Red Square. Was very well received. I did things the right way. I didn't abuse PEDs. I didn't do all that. I took proper off season without it. I let my body heal. And right now I don't even eat that much. And I've lost a little bit over 40 pounds since, I got done competing in 2020. Just gradually started losing more. There was no purpose, to stay on all that. And now it's just basic, basic TRT. And really, I'm just trying to get my body right to try to have a kid. So I'm definitely not doing what many people probably think. But if you can heed my advice and taking things slow, you'll build that muscle maturity so you can keep your mass when you're in your 40s like me. I think it's all about how you handle it at an early age. I think a lot of people may have gone through things as a child that really, I would say, manned them up, grown them up a little faster than other people, whereas other folks, they were late bloomer and they, but either way, I think it's something that we're all born with. I think people have the ability to champion through their entire day. And you just really have to search, deep inside your soul to figure out what it is that you want and how are you going to go get it and how are you going to do it when no one's watching and when the chips are stacked against you. Do you just bitch and complain, or you actually just go for it and learn from your mistakes as well? Because that's what champion bodybuilders do. They learn from their mistakes. My goals right now are much different. That I don't really see that. I mean, there's times where I think like, oh, how would I do if I did a master show or whatever? that would take away from all the other things that I have, on my plate right now. And that major thing is my family. I want Sheree and I to try to have a child. And by doing that, that would provide way more joy if I won another competition. I've already won, 7. So I know a lot of people may be disappointed, but I hope, people understand. I would say steak. I love steak. The problem is that you can't eat it all freaking day long. But yeah, when it comes to bulking, I usually have at least 1 steak a day, maximum 2. It would be a great battle to see those two on stage again. We got to just see them last week. And I'm really hoping that they both show up in absolute best condition and shape. I know Handy probably is discouraged, but I think that he has it within him to actually, put forth the effort and have the tools and the weapons that would, get him back on that stage and contend for a title. And as far as Nick, I know he wants vindication for last year's show. He was able to place really well last week, getting second at the Arnold. So I definitely believe that that matchup is going to be something that a lot of people want to see, including myself. I would say my best Olympia moment was probably winning my first Olympia. You definitely realized that all the sacrifice, the pain, everything really did make sense, and it was allowing me to embark on a new chapter in my life. She's in the house chilling, taking a nap. Yep, she is hanging out. Best tip, truly, I say to you, research the guys that have won the Olympia for a long time. Research. If you cannot find videos, find Google articles about them. Find out the workouts that they were doing and the mentality that they had going into training, the methodology, all of that. That's exactly what I did. I researched everything from Lee Haney's era to Dorian to Ronnie, and it really did make a difference. A couple things. Number one, they would never do that. I already know they wouldn't. Number two, I've already won bodybuilding shows. I want to have a family, plain and simple. I've dedicated the majority of my adult life to being the best in the world. And I needed to dedicate my life to my wife and try to have a child, create a family. That will outlive any trophy I could ever earn. Yes, I will be there all days. So I believe I get in Thursday, and I'll be there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I cannot wait to see you guys. I'll be over at the Panada booth hitting the weights, so if you guys happen to go by there, say what's up and try out their equipment. They are amazing pieces. All I know is that I'm up there. Top 5, dead or alive. I'm doing well, my friend. Hopefully you are too. I'll never forget what you said up there. I feel like for any body part that is lagging, I suggest hitting it every 3 to 4 days a week. So for me, it was back and legs. I would hit those twice a week, whereas arms I only hit once. So you have to truly assess what your strong points and your weak points are and be honest. Don't be in denial. And basically just getting more volume into that muscle, but also feeding it, eating properly, getting enough sleep, drinking enough water to stay hydrated. That's really going to help you a lot. Those excellent coaches, separate themselves from the average because they're able to produce results faster and more effective and more long term. Whereas the average coach, it might be hit and miss. Excellence breeds a lot of humility, discipline, attention to detail, and a connection between that coach and that individual or group. And they can make those adjustments at any given time with any freaking body and get the optimal result.